The space. We're live at 11:29 a.m. Friday, December 4th. Oh, thank God it's Friday. I'll give it that. Beginning of the month, not too bad. This is a hell of a month. It's gonna be a fun month. It's gonna be a good month. And to be one of the most fascinating years in not just recent memory, but probably in recorded history in many regards. End of a year. We got the holidays. End of a presidency, as most would think. Complexities aside, I look forward to December. Today's episode, along with all episodes, is sponsored by Change Angel, non-custodial swap exchange for social goods. Stop depositing on exchanges. If you're still using Binance, if you're still using exchanges, you're doing it wrong. Non-custodial, not your keys, not your crypto or DeFi are the way to go, the only way to go. Who's in the stream? Welcome, Cryptochick in the house. David Millett, Barry, DGB in the house. Good day. It's a great day. Let's see what's going on in the markets. Today's topic, Bitcoin pullback or destined for greatness. Let's pop it over to the main screen and hit up Bitcoin as we need to. So this is horizontal movement if I've ever seen it. RSI is not overwhelmingly getting to oversold territory. Stoke is obviously oscillating between overbought and oversold. I don't see much excitement. We were above the 200 EMA in the 15 minute, which is a relatively low time frame to look at for, was that 2 days? That's not overwhelmingly bullish. It's a relatively short time frame to look at. It was a nice break to the upside of the sim triangle that was clearly here. I don't see any clear trend formation that we're currently in. And clearly we fell below the 200 EMA in recent price action, as well as the orange line, which is the long-term resistance. Would have been nice to stay above that resistance, but we did not. Let's pull out. Let's check the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the daily. So, and this is how the price action works all the time. So what I like to do is, so you see we fell below the 200 EMA on the 15 min, but now we got the 200 EMA in the 1 hour, which is exactly where the price action hit off of. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that it smacked into the 200 EMA and bounced. That's the psychology of the way markets work. So a great way to trade, which is something I don't necessarily do, is if let's say it falls below the 200 EMA on the hourly. Where's the next major support? Probably the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, which really coincides with, well, that orange line hits it nicely. I mean, you can have a little bit of support there, but you're going to have your support on the 200 EMA. So I like supports at 200 EMAs and other EMAs, but really the long-term 200 EMA is so meaningful when I'm looking at chart data. And obviously previous support, previous resistance, as well as EMA, long-term EMA support and resistance is the most meaningful, the way I look and see and digest data. So if we break through the 1 hour, there's a fair amount to the downside we could expect. 16,948, 2,000, it's $2,000 to the downside. You know, it's possible. And that's the whole point. The whole point is if it breaks through, you throw in a stop loss. Now it gets complicated because we see fake out breakout patterns all the time. It might break through and then leaves you in the dust. So this comes down to, major decisions and choices of behavior. Do you buy and hold? Do you dollar cost average? Maybe you break to the downside and you liquidate 20% of your portfolio just in case, and then it bounces off the 200 EMA in the 4 hour and you're able to buy in for $2,000 less. Pocket the difference. That was a quick $2,000 save for the day if you did it with a one Bitcoin quantity, of course. Point being, chart data. I like the chart data. What would I do in this situation? I'm not doing anything. I have my portfolio set. I get off the call. I go back to work. Folks need to focus on stuff other than trading. Folks are notorious for over trading. Stop over trading. Find your portfolio. Make your peace with it. Find your comfort zone, so to speak. I mean, the oscillators look pretty good. This is a bullish higher low. Was it the hourly? That's not bearish. That's bullish. And let's see how this candle closes. It's the hourly candle, and we're halfway through the hour. If that closes like that, that looks pretty good. That could be a potential trend formation. If you see that, check this out. Boop, boop. You got a little trend formation action going on. If, yeah, we'll see. That's obviously very preliminary right there because you got to wait till this candle body close. And that's just nice looking. That's nice looking. If that forms, that's a solid triangle right there, ladies and gentlemen. What am I missing in the stream? Cryptochick, hey, hey. DeFi the only way. I mean, it really is. It really is, ladies and gentlemen. I did not trade. I purchased. So that's the thing. I go on exchanges. I don't give a shit about trading. I went on like Hotbit for my Polkadot asset purchases. My DOT, my Ban, Kava, and Iris because they're not DeFi. DeFi is Ethereum right now. And obviously there'll be interop solutions, and you got Ren, which is the ultimate interop solution between Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos, and so on and so forth. But uh, I I don't trade. It's not like I have like a couple $1,000s in Bittrex and I'm buying and selling, trying to scalp, trying to make. No, I'm a investor. I accumulate assets that I think are going to appreciate over reasonable periods of time. And I hold those assets until they appreciate. I liquidate a portion of it into my chosen denomination of take profit, which is Bitcoin. And that's the way my system works. You're not the vast majority of people will never make their money trading. So unless you have years of experience or eclectic, as in an extraordinary person, don't trade. You're going to lose your money. It's not worth it. What you want is a diversified portfolio of assets that are highly likely to experience asymmetric returns for a variety of reasons. And the reasons include a fundamental analysis that we dive into almost always. None of the assets we look at on this stream are just technicals. There's strong fundamentals behind all of the assets that we talk about. And I have no interest in assets that don't have strong fundamentals. Which basically, what is a fundamental to me? A fundamental means there's a reason for price to increase based on the properties of a protocol, the properties of a DAO, of so on and so forth, the properties of what you're placing your value in, the properties of the asset. For instance, I got a Bancor shirt on today, ladies and gentlemen. Bancor has great potential to produce asymmetric returns and potentially yield. Now, bear in mind, my personal position is a relatively tiny position, a fraction of a percent, but it's still a relatively large percent. It's not a trivial quantity of BNT. But I'm more so interested in the platform for yield as a recurring revenue stream than necessarily the price appreciation of the BNT. I really like the liquidity protection as a solution to impermanent loss, and that is alleviated by an inflationary component of the BNT quantity, the BNT supply, which is going to be offset by a burn component associated with an admin fee, which is a page out of the Curve playbook. Other the Curve doesn't have a burn component, but that's the whole point. A burn component seems a logical way to balance off the inflationary pressure associated with how they pay the insurance for the liquidity protection. So you can vote on that. I believe that's the current proposal. No, it's just a proposal in the governance. When you want to see governance, I don't want to look up governance. You go to here, gov.bancor.network, and they're able to look at all the stuff that everyone's talking about. It's one of these. Point being, I like Bancor. But I like to be clear that just because I like something doesn't mean it's 95% of my portfolio. Never go all in, never spread too thin. You're taking too much risk if you're going. I know a lot of folks on here love their Digibyte, but Digibyte 2%, 1%, Small percent of your portfolio, guys. Risk off. Risk off. You work too hard. Don't risk your gains. Protect your money. Please. Captain Weber's in the house. Always a pleasure. RR. Cryptochick says was checking borrowing on Zerion. Looks easy peasy to do. Borrowing. Oh, here's Zerion. What do you mean borrowing? What do they do? I don't even know because all I know is I'm looking. I follow the address for Rook on their accrued yield for their arbitrage trading. I'm not familiar with Zerion, but if it's borrowing, you're talking about MakerDAO and Aave and Cream and other borrowing and lending protocols. Um, Save pools, borrow. Huh? How do you like that? Summary of your loan, new loan. Oh, okay. Cryptochick. This is DeFi Automation. I like, so this is cool. I like what they're doing. I like any of these projects that are layers on, look, this is a layer on top of Maker and Compound. Uh, DeFi Saver. That's the same thing as a product like this. And you can check this one out too. This is really nice. DeFi Saver is really cool. Um, I like their presentation, love the user interface, and they have a unique component for their compound pool, which is Automate, which automatically balances the your collateralization to minimize risk of liquidation. So this is DeFi Saver, and obviously you were looking at Zariah. That's cool. That's cool. There's a lot of these, a whole lot of these. Uh, Zapper Fi is a big deal. You're able to zap between liquidity pools. These guys are doing some really good stuff, and you're able to see your portfolio. Zapper Fi. Oh, it's loading. Oh, a whole lot of money. Oh, anyway. What else we got going on? Stuff. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Crypto Chick says, love the way you think. I appreciate it. I just risk off. I don't take risk, ladies and gentlemen. I can't hammer that home enough. If you see something that's brand new, I wouldn't touch it. That's max risk, max return. I mean, the closest thing I got to you do have to take bets every now and then. The closest thing I got to a max risk, max return bet is probably Keeper DAO. But bear in mind, here's the kicker. While this thing is max risk, max return, it's a brand new protocol. You have no idea what's going on. One, there's $110 million of liquidity in this protocol. And it's been around pretty much, I believe, the entire year. It just recently launched its DAO token, the Rook asset, which is used to incentivize liquidity, as well as eventually to provide governance rights. So, and there's a lot of emissions. If you on Zerai, on the Dune Analytics page, you can see there's a huge amount of emissions. And then if you go over to CoinGecko, you can see the numbers go up on a daily basis. It's probably thousands a day of Rook are emitted. And you obviously know why. There's a max supply of 1 million, and there's 86,000 circulating supply. You come back tomorrow, it's going to be 90, 92, 93. It'll be 100 by Monday, and that's cool. And then by February, I believe it says their emissions are complete. February 1st, we'll have 1 million. And here's the kicker: 1 million max supply puts it at $103 million asset. If it's $1 billion asset at fully diluted, it's going to go 10x on his money, which is $1,000 per keeper. I'm cool with the 10x, boys and girls. I don't know about you. I got about 8 grand in here. If I turn 8 grand to 80 grand, I'm not going to be complaining. Sure, folks want that 8 grand into $8 million. That's max risk. You're not going to get it. Don't. The odds of that working out are slim to none. That's like it's too much risk, and I don't trust it. I work too damn hard, and I'm not making bets like that. I'll make a bet for a 10x, turn a couple of thousand into 80 grand. That'd be a nice win, and I hope that plays out. If it doesn't play out and I turn it into 16 grand, I'm not going to complain either. Um, Angelo, always a pleasure. Rick G says, strong fundamentals, good looking technicals, picky, picky, picky. Picky to buy, quick to sell. That's what I'm saying, boys and girls. picky to buy. Well, Bitcoin's another story. Bitcoin's in a whole separate category because I'm not really picky to buy. If you got extra cash, this is where you want to save your value because that's the narrative. That's the prevailing narrative that this is where to store value. This is the ultimate treasury asset. This is pristine collateral, as said by Raul. Um, so this is just buy, buy, buy. Bear in mind, if you want to, you still can be picky to buy. If it falls, check this out. This is what I like to do. So if it, okay, you're gonna move. There you go. So if it falls through the 200 EMA and the hourly, and we get to the 200 EMA on, oh, there's the orange line. So here's your orange line. We go back to the 1 hour where you have the current support. You zoom out a little bit. So this is where you buy. So if you wait, if you're being picky to buy for Bitcoin for some reason or another, I'm not a subscriber of being picky to buy. You buy here, you buy a bounce. That's where you buy. I mean, if you wait for 16,100 and change, this previous support, you might not get it. And if you do, buy again. It's Bitcoin. Come on. You got the U.S. OCC, Brian Brooks, talking about Bitcoin. You got the Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin talking about Bitcoin. You got everyone talking about Bitcoin. You got corporations throwing their money into it, their treasury into it. If this is not a foreshadow for where things are heading, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're looking for. This is heading in only one direction. Partially because everything else is heading in the opposite direction. Everything else looks like shit in comparison. This is the most incredible asset in a sea of shit. Yeah, Angelo, I got my Badger air job. That's why I got this up here. I'm not going to put it, I wouldn't spend any money. I wouldn't put any money into this. But I got a little something. I put it in. I added it staking, and then I'm staking, double staking, or whatever the heck it's doing. All I know is whatever. If it goes up, it goes up. I don't know. If this turns into $2,000, I'm not going to complain. Am I going to put any money into it? Absolutely not. This is just another finance app. I'm not impressed with finance apps. I'm not impressed with these clones and monetary policy experiments. At least often, because I am impressed with KeeperDAO, but I'm just not impressed with, Harvest, Seal, Simpsons. There's a whole bunch of these finance apps that, they don't catch my fancy. Cryptochick, you can lend, borrow, all DeFi. It's just incredible what you can do. Frankly, I'm a fan of just simple. I don't like complexity. So if I'm going to lend and borrow, well, if I'm going to borrow, I'm going to use my Bitcoin as collateral on MakerDAO, and I'm going to borrow. That's what I do. I have 7.5 Bitcoin in MakerDAO, 143 grand, and I'm borrowing $40,000, and I give it to Curve. So I'm lending, well, I'm providing liquidity on Curve to the tune of about 37,000 and change, and I'm earning 30% on that, which is 10 grand a year. I have a fair amount of my VECRV position, which is earning another couple of $1,000s a year. And then I'm earning over in Bancor, so that my $5,000 that I provide to this DAI position is borrowed from my MakerDAO CDP. This is borrowed, and this is earning. So on $5,000, I'm earning 329%. Is that adjusted annually, annualized? The odds are I'm not going to get that because the rewards run out in 66 days and the rewards are denominated in BNT. I'm sorry, I'm earning 77% on DAI. I'm earning 329% on Bancor, which I have 1,000. So in theory, if that ran for the entire year and that percentage was for the entire year, that'd be $3,000. I'm not going to complain about that. Small position, that's a nice amount of yield. And as you can see, we just got to probably closer to rather than further from about 20 grand a year. This other stuff running around, but lend and borrow all DeFi, and that's the whole point. This is these components, these modularized components, these Lego pieces that everyone's so excited about, and even Aave V2. Check this out. If you go to version 2 and you go to stake, So version 1, you could always stake Aave, but now you can stake BPT, which is Balancer Pool token. This is incredible. So you're going to get yield on providing liquidity to Balancer's Aave Eth pool. And then you can take your BPT token and use that to stake in the Aave security module, which is earning 5%. So let's say you get 5% over there on Balancer, you're getting another 5% over here, you're getting 10% on your Aave and Ethereum. And Aave is going to outperform the market, and Ethereum is going to outperform the market, so I don't really mind any potential and permanent losses associated with the Balancer pool. It's just ridiculous yield all over the place when you have banks throwing around minus 10% because clearly 0.02% in the bank, and then you go over to the Chapwood index and you realize that you're losing 10% a year. So in a world where you're losing, well, New York, you're losing 11.9% for 5-year average. Definitely going to go up this year. You need to make some serious money. You need to make 10% a year. Otherwise, you are losing dollars. 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 Oh, I see the tab. So surely before I arrive. That's right, Angelo, the badger. Yeah. Cryptochick, DeFi Saver. Yeah, I've seen that for a while. They're pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Cryptochick just started staking API 3 ETH on Zapper, right? Zapper-Fi. What a wonderful protocol. A lot of smart people building these platforms, and I call these DeFi automations. And obviously the most the biggest is Yearn because they're actually automating vaults and investments and positions, which is more than just what obviously Zapper-Fi and DeFi Saver and Zerion and the like do. So Yearn, but that's why there's always the project and the platform that stands out. And Andre and Bantag, these are smart people. Um, and smart people are there's a lot of smart people, but every once in a while you have the people that uh, that stand out. Buterin, Andre, and Bantag. These boys stand out as extraordinary intelligence. Um, yeah. So balance is cool, Cryptochick. It's a liquidity position. Personally, I prefer Curve because Curve, there's no impermanent loss. You're dealing with assets that are all the same price. So when I'm talking about Curve, my favorite is the compound pool because you're talking about two extraordinarily stable assets. DAI is from MakerDAO and USDC is from Coinbase. So, and they're equivalent in value more or less. But these other pools involve Tether. So I avoid Tether. I don't trust Tether. And I don't but here's cool. There's Ren BTC and there's some nice yield actually, 13% on Bitcoin right here. 41% HBTC, WBTC, but then you're talking about taking on the risk associated with what is HBTC as compared to WBTC. WBTC is backed by BitGo, and that's some serious custodianship, and there's some serious trust going on with WBTC. There's also some serious trust going on with RemBTC, and frankly, TBTC is growing. And this pool is producing 45% yield on Bitcoin. These assets are denominated in Bitcoin. Incredible. So there's some serious yield actually. 41%? Huh. I might have to liquidate my compound position, pay off my debt in MakerDAO, take out the Bitcoin and throw it into the HBTC WBTC pool for 41% return on Bitcoin directly rather than paying 4% for my MakerDAO position. So obviously this is called a carry trade. I'll show you real quick what I mean. So MakerDAO, I pay 4%, but on that 4%, I'm making 4.79%. So the yield denominated in DAI and USDC pays for the fee associated with the MakerDAO position, but I'm also getting 30% on top of that. So this pool is generating 34.79% for me, and I'm paying 4% for the DAI that I'm borrowing. That's called a carry trade. I'm tempted to liquidate because this is that's serious. 41% directly on HBTC, WBTC pool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like Zapper to track my portfolio too, Angelo. It's a good deal. Zapper-Fi is a big deal. DeFi Saver is a good one. Yeah, I mean they're all cool, and what they're doing is the beginning of something. They're building new tech. They're building stuff that is really is going to help facilitate mass adoption because us we've been looking at this for a fair amount of time, and we do look at things from an increasingly technical perspective. Even if you're in this stream with me and you're on the lower technical side, you're still 1,000 times more technical than the general public, than the average person. So the average person probably can't even do any of this. They need custodianship. And that's like Brian Book's talking about the banking system actually being a custodian of cryptocurrency, where you could go to Chase and you could go to HSBC and they could hold your Bitcoin. And that's what the vast majority of people are going to need. But now you're talking about how do you stand out? How do you entertain opportunities? How do you do things that other people are not doing? How do you get investments that other people are not getting? And that's by understanding exactly what we talk about: loans and leverage and liquidity positions and lending and yield and all these fancy things that we've been exploring for the better part of this year. Absolutely incredible. Uh, John says, I checked out STKR this morning. Was thinking of dipping my toe in F2 using this kind of service. Oh, so I would wait. I would wait. For me, um, there's F2 is going to be completely tokenized, meaning in 2 years' time, when Ethereum 2 launches, you're going to be able to go to Uniswap and buy a token that represents Ethereum and get yield because Ethereum is going to be basically a yield generating asset. Uh, it's going to be crazy how this emerges. What is it, X token market? Check these boys out. This is going to give you a sense of what's going to happen to the entire crypto space. It's going to be completely automated and tokenized. And this is exactly how it's going to happen, the way X token market works. So they have a bunch of tokens. It's not as many as I thought they had more. Um, but these tokens are representative of automated positions. Look, this XSN SSNX is going to automatically take SNX, mint SUSD, automatically collect the fees, and it grows. So this asset just does all of that, um, all the burning, all the rebalancing, all the profit taking automatically. So everything in the future is going to be completely automated and rolled into an asset that does it all automatically, which is managed by a smart contract. Absolutely incredible. Oop. So these are Aave that does it, and these are cool. These are KNC. I remember when the KNC DAO first launched, and this automatically does voting, and this automatically takes profits, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Um, Angelo says. What am I missing? You guys are talking a lot. Cryptochick carry trade's nice. Yes, yes. Cryptochick, although I like, yeah, as much as there's a whole lot. The whole point is to explore all opportunities that are possible, minimize risk, maximize reward. You want I focus on yield. I love yield. It's not about making trades. You're not going to get your fortune by trading. You can get your fortune by finding assets that have asymmetric return potential. A lot of people made fortunes on synthetics and Avi this year, and Unibright up thousands of percent. If you put 10 grand into Unibright in like any time last year in 2019, oh my goodness, the returns? You got $1 million now. Absolutely incredible. Angelo says, yeah, it's insane, but everyone knows using DeFi is programmer. Yeah, not everyone's a programmer. You just have to try, give it a shot. And it doesn't matter if it's hard. It doesn't matter if you don't make much progress. What matters is you try, and that's all that matters. Because if you try, you're doing more than the average other person. Most people don't try at all. Most people don't do anything most people don't know anything other than dollars. Let alone these types of assets, let alone the stock market. It's a whole other story. Cryptochick, US. Oh, thank you. I try. I also try and remain humble. I'm not the smartest person in the room. Raoul Powell, Lynn Alden, George Gammon, Stephen Van Meter. these are the smartest people in the room. There's a lot of smart people. Those Santiago Velez, absolutely impressive the way he speaks. Even Brian Brooks at the USOCC, absolutely eloquent and articulate persons that have insurmountable, immensely more experience than I do. Um, Thank you, though. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Badger is enough. APY 4 million. No, Angelo. No, you're not going to get 4 million%. You're not. It's not going to happen. This is not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Risk off. Risk off. Rick G. The wisdom you're spitting could make people some serious money. It's made a lot of people some serious money this year. I mean, Ren was a big win. Ren. Where's my Ren? I bought three masternodes for 6 grand a piece, 18 grand, 300,000 rent. It's worth 102,000 right now. Yeah, I mean that thing was up at like 100. I did a 10x on Ren for a bit. I was up at like 160 grand. That was crazy. But I think Ren is just beginning. So I don't what I don't have for you guys is good entries. I can't. I'm not an investment advisor. I can't tell folks when to enter, when to exit. But I could give you the skills and the advice and the experience that I have over the years. And probably what I've learned the most is just strong hands and knowing what is a good purchase and what isn't and how long to hold it. Ren is probably one of my best investments that I've ever done. I'm not even when I think of Ren, I don't even think of it for selling. If my three masternodes go to $1 million a piece, I don't care about selling them for $3 million. What I care about is if I'm making $250,000 a year from each master node, from each dark node. If I'm making 100 grand a year from each dark node, you think I'm going to sell them if they're worth $3 million? Absolutely not. I want the 100 grand a year. I want a recurring revenue stream. I don't want a one-off win. I want my money to work for me so I don't have to work. And then I could focus on doing the work that I want to do, not the work that I need to do. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. I really do. I try my best, and I hope I help folks. Angelo says, wow, that's X token, right? Right, Angelo? A lot of stuff I found, and I don't know it all. There's a whole lot of stuff that I'm definitely missing, but I've encountered a fair amount over the last couple months. J4KA, would you advise to stake ETH somewhere? Unknown. Unknown. I'm not staking my ETH. I have my Ethereum. I have 32 Ethereum in Celsius just in case. So I put that 32 Ethereum in there when it was like $300, and I'm just kind of letting it sit there. So the odds are, JE4KA, by the time I want to do anything with it, you'll end up having like an XF2. You see what I got on the screen? You have like an XF2. And you literally could buy it, and it is staked Ethereum or representative of staked Ethereum, if you know what I'm saying. Rick G says Real Vision commercial. Yeah, maybe. Jay Landon, I sat on my crypto and came back to see IOTA scam and Monaco scam. Friggin' awesome. Don't so quick to sell. I don't know. I don't know about IOTA. I don't know about Monaco. I don't know about any of those. So there's a lot of names out there that folks own, and I'm like, why do you own that? Just stick to the big stuff. Stick to the big shit. Stick to the stuff that is established. It has traction. It's heading somewhere, and it's not. And that's why I say risk off, and that's why I say quick to sell, picky to buy, quick to sell. If you're gonna place a bet, a high risk bet, um, you got to watch your positions. But if you're in Bitcoin, you don't really need to watch your position because there's a multi-year long-term narrative at play. And what you want is to have it now. And yeah, the odds are in like 4+ years. Oh, yeah. So that's the stuff you hold. You hold the Bitcoin. You hold the Ren because if those masternodes are producing revenue, that's everything. Masternodes, dark nodes. Cryptochick, exactly. I have a VET masternode. Yeah, I like the masternode. So back in like 2017, 2018, I went on a masternode spree. I had like 28 masternodes at one point. I got a server in the other room. But my favorite are Blocknet, StakeNet, uh, um, I don't even remember what I have. I have a couple of masternodes still sitting around. The blocknet stake, the Syscoin's a big deal. Zcoin, which is what, Firo now? Zcoin's cool. That's hanging around. It's still maintaining value. Four, it's been on the defensive, but I think they still have, there's potential. It's not, potential-less. Alquo still has potential. Polis Pay has still been holding on to some value. I mean, it's not a lot, but I mean, it's like, it's just like all assets from 2017. Stuff is down like 95%, but I didn't buy it back in 2017. I think I bought it at 2019, the early 2019, end of 2018, when it was already like really beaten up. Like for instance, here's my losses. I think I bought my Blocknet service node for about 9,000 and upper 8,000s, lower 9,000s. And it's worth $6,700. All right. So, but it's a damn Blocknet service node. The asymmetric return potential on that asset is insane. If there's traction on Blocknet, and man, their X-Lite wallet and uh, what they're working on for the Web3 replacement, just Blocknet is just asymmetric return potential is through the roof. Angelo says exactly work for what we want. That's the thing. I need to work. I got to work, but I want to do the things I want to do and when I want to do them. Like right now, when I'm done with this call, I probably want to go outside and hang out with the fam for a little bit, but no. I got a phone call at 12:30 I got to take. I got 9 messages in one chat, 9 in another I got messages I got to answer. So I don't get to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So that's our goal. That's our freedom that we're looking for. Freedom of choice. I'm literally just looking for freedom of choice, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Landon, appreciate it. 12:06 p.m. on a Friday, December 4th. As always, I thank everyone for listening to me and my massive 30-plus minute monologue. But I hope we all have a good time. I hope it helps people. I hope it lets people who hear things that people are probably thinking themselves, but they never necessarily put words on it. So I hope it helps. Smack those thumbs up buttons, please. Everyone, tell everyone to subscribe. I think I need less than 50 to get to the 1,000 subscribers, and that'll be cool because we'll get the super chat, which will make chatting even easier for all of us. I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for joining. I'll see you all Monday. Peace.